In this video, we will learn how to find out the share of the labor in the total output from the given Cobb Douglas production function. The question is, in the following Cobb Douglas production function, Q is equal to A times L to the power alpha times K to the power beta. If the sum of alpha and beta is greater than 1, then the share of labor would be, options are being given. We need to find out the correct option. Okay. So, what is our equation? That is output, and let me write it here. Q, that is our output, is equal to A denotes the state of technology or solve residual or total factor productivity. L denotes the units of labor employed raised power alpha times K denotes the units of capital employed raised power beta. Okay, this is our Cobb Douglas production function. Now, if this Cobb Douglas production function is being given to us, then, and if the sum of alpha plus beta is equal to 1, okay, then the share of labor would be, so the share of labor percentage share of labor in total output will be equal to, that will be equal to the exponent of L, which denotes the output elasticity of labor also. So it will be equal to alpha, okay, divided by alpha plus beta. So it will be equal to alpha divided by, since alpha plus beta is equal to 1, so we will get share of labor as alpha in this case. Okay, when the sum of alpha and beta is equal to 1, then the share of labor in the total output will be equal to the share of input factor, that is labor, divided by the total share of the inputs, that is the share of labor and capital, that is alpha plus beta. Since alpha plus beta is equal to 1, so the share of the labor would have been alpha. Okay, so if you are wondering how does this this equation came out to be, now you can find out the labor share or the labor earnings and capital earnings in the total output by, so if you the process would be, you first need to find out the marginal product of labor, and you will get here, that is will be alpha times Q upon labor. Marginal product of capital would have been, you can derive it, I have derived it so many times, so it will be equal to beta times Y upon K. Okay, this denotes the marginal product of labor and capital. Now the labor earnings would be, so labor earnings would be equal to, that will be equal to units of labor employed times marginal product of labor, and capital earnings will be equal to units of capital times marginal productivity of capital. Okay, you can find out MPL and MPK simply taking partials of the production function with respect to labor and capital. Okay, so when you solve this, what will you get here? So you will get here, when you solve this, you will get it alpha times y, and here you will get beta times y, only when alpha plus beta is equal to 1, that is when we have the constant returns to scale. Okay, since we are being told that alpha plus beta is greater than 1 in the given question, then what would be the share of labor? That will be equal to, that is percentage share of labor will be equal to, that is equal to the share of labor divided by the total factor share. What is total factor share? Total factor share, that is equal to alpha plus beta. So we will get alpha divided by alpha plus beta in this case. Okay, so the share of labor in the total output in percentage form will be equal to alpha divided by alpha plus beta, because we have the sum of alpha and beta is greater than 1, that is it gives us the increasing returns to scale here. Okay, so we cannot say this time though it is also appropriate to write alpha as the correct option, we have also alpha upon alpha plus beta. Okay, so since we need to find out the most appropriate, we can go for this. Okay, that is the share of the labor would be equal to the share factor share of labor divided by total factor share of labor and capital. Okay, I have explained it here. Let me repeat it here. If we have the sum of alpha and beta equals to 1, then share of labor would be equal to, and how will you calculate it? Simply find marginal product of labor. You will get then the total labor earnings will be equal to units of labor employed times marginal product of labor. It will be equal to alpha times y. This alpha denotes the share of labor. Okay, share of labor. But since alpha plus beta is greater than 1, in this case the most appropriate answer will be alpha divided by alpha plus beta. I hope I made myself clear in this video. Thank you.